that it's time to find a job, and don't have to tell you about the market being so tough right now. There is a glimmer of hope for new grads. Employers are planning to make 5% more job offers this spring than they did in 2009. Our workplace contributor, Tory Johnson, is here with the 5 things college grads should do right now to get that job they want. Okay, let's go ahead and help them again, because you talked to 2009 grads who, boy, that was such a tough time to be out looking for a job. And when you talked to them on graduation day, they didn't have a job, but they were able to get one.
That's right. So we're going to tell you what they did, and if they could do it, anybody could do it. So the first is, you know, everyone hears networking, networking, networking. You got to network. But for somebody who's inexperienced at it, they often show up at events, wander aimlessly, and it's a bust. And Chris Cookson, who graduated from Oregon State, decided he was going to take a different tactic. He attended events that were specific to his own industry. And what that meant was that he was walking into an event where everybody was employed in the field that he wanted to be in already. And it enabled him to make connections, which connected him ultimately to his next employer, his current employer. And he's now hired just 2 months after graduation as a project manager for a medical research firm. And the lesson really from Chris is that you have to attend events. And when you do, to be face-to-face, put a face to your resume, you want to bring business cards, have your spiel ready, go alone so you don't cling to your pal, but you're forced to talk to other people. And along the same lines about making that face-to-face connection, Anthony Lopez is somebody else who I was so excited to talk to, because he graduated, got sick and tired of hearing no response from all of his online applications, decided to show up in person. He went to the hospital that he wanted to work for, to the HR department, and that's what ultimately got him hired, because he showed up not just to grab an application, but to make a face-to-face connection when he went into that office. And the lesson really from Anthony is there are certain industries, not all, where you can show up face-to-face to grab that application, whether it is retail, hospitality, many hospitals. And if there's an HR department that accepts walk-ins, go in not just, you know, in schlubby clothes ready to like grab an application, but instead to make that contact, to put a face to your resume, to encourage somebody to get to know you a little bit, to find out what the process is.
So many people feel like if they could just get that face-to-face, they'll be able to do and land that job. You also talk about go for that temp position. Of course, you want the permanent position.
That's right.
But go for the temp.
A temp job's often a way in the door. And so, for example, I talked to a woman named KAITLYN, and in her case, she wanted to work in the entertainment industry. So she not only targeted positions, but also companies. And she found out that one of the companies on her target list had a temp job. Not the one that she wanted, not the dream job in marketing that she wanted, but something she was perfectly capable of doing. So she decided to accept that temp job and then network relentlessly internally, and ultimately, after the temp job was finished, was transferred internally to the full-time position that she has now. And so another success story by getting her foot in the door. So when you're pursuing temp work, the lesson that we learned from KAITLYN is think about the company, not only the position, because once you get in there, often you can maneuver your way around.
Great lessons that we're learning from them. Now this next one though is a little bit tricky. An unpaid internship.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of folks that says that they can't afford
it. No one graduates from college wanting to work for free, but it certainly beats sitting on the couch. And so in the case of CANDICE Thompson, she wanted to work in the competitive entertainment industry and decided that she'd take an unpaid internship and wait tables simultaneously. So she got industry experience and was able to pay the bills. That combination ultimately impressed her current employer, where she landed a staff position full-time on the payroll at an entertainment company, all because she chose to put that experience on her resume. And that's so important. Better than sitting on the couch and having nothing to show during that time.
And the final one, use your college services and connections.
Yes, career services. You've paid all this money for it. Gabby COBB used her alumni connections to get her current job. And really make a list of 50 alumni connections that you can have. And 1, 2, 5 of them might not call you back, but all you need is that one. So even if you make those 3 calls and nobody calls you back, keep going down the list.
I got to tell you, Southeastern Louisiana grads are not shy about calling me. Hear from them all the time, and happy to do it.
Good, right?
I
doing the right
love
thing.
it. I really appreciate that. And that's right. They're using that connection.
Are you about to give out your phone number now?
No, I won't. We'll leave that to you, Tory.
Coming next.
Because she is the woman. I can't help you as much as this woman can here, and she'll have more of her tips for grads on our job hunt on our website at abcnews.com. And I mean that sincerely. Tory is just relentless, and she's always on the web. She's always providing answers and services, so please do that. I'm not trying to get out of it. I just know that you're better suited for this.